What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy D Free back with another boxing video. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the like button. And when you subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon so you can be notified when I drop new videos. I will be dropping more videos for football. I will be doing a live stream tomorrow evening. For the NFL schedules and wins and losses for our predictions on this upcoming season. But let's get into this video. It seems like we got more news for Teofimo Lopez and Devin the Dream Haney. It seemed like they will be fighting. We heard earlier or later, sometime mid last week, that T.O. had came out. He was upset with Turkey because he wanted the Jerron boots in his fight. And Jerron was like, nah, I'm not fighting you. I'm only trying to unify the belts at welterweight. You have other guys that you can fight in and around your weight class. Go fight those guys. I'm trying to become undisputed. And T.O. wanted Turkey to pretty much make that fight happen. And Turkey decided to offer him the Devin Haney fight. And T.O. had declined the Devin Haney fight. And he had some choice words that he had for Turkey. I believe he called him a dictator. And he said some other things. And Turkey wanted T.O. to apologize. And T.O. had went to Instagram and did a live and was like, oh, you want me to apologize? I'm not apologizing for something that I am. He said that's what he is. That's what he believes. He's not apologizing. And then we see later on that he did put out a public statement on X and said that he take responsibilities for his actions and his statement, and he formally apologizing to Turkey. And we know this to be somewhat of a current effect with when it comes to Turkey and guys that's not happy with the fights that's being made or the money that they're being given, because we saw the same thing happen with Shakur Stevenson. He was promised a certain amount of money to fight William Zepeda, and then when it was time to make the fight and it was time for him to sign the contract, he said that Turkey had gave him a different number than what he originally told him that he was going to get. And Shakur wasn't taking that deal. He had some choice words for Turkey, and Turkey pretty much said, either you fight this, you take this deal I'm giving you, or you go to purse bid. And then we see, and he also stated he wanted Shakur to give him a formal apology. And then we see Shakur Stevenson later on came around and apologized to Turkey, and that fight was end up being made with William Zepeda. Now, fast forward, we dealing with T.O., and the same thing happened. T.O. wanted a certain fight, and he believed he's not being valued the same way other guys are being valued. And so he wasn't trying to take the Devin Haney deal that he was given, because he said it was less money than he was going to get to fight Jerron Bucenis. And he had his choice words, and then he turned around and apologized. And Turkey pretty much made him apologize, and he apologized. And now we see the Devin Haney fight is being made. And it looks like it's going to be in Saudi Arabia on August 16th. And if that date looks familiar, it's the same day that the Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach rematch is happening. So being though that they're fighting in Saudi Arabia, I'm not sure if they're going to fight early August 16th, the early in the morning, August 16th, so it can be in the evening over here, or should I say early in the morning, August 17th, because they're ahead of us. So would it be early in the morning, August 17th, and it'll be in the evening on August 16th here, or would it be in the evening, August 16th in Saudi Arabia, and it will be the early morning, August 16th for us? So we'll see how they're going to do the time frames. But now they battling with Tank Davis. So are they going to put this on pay-per-view for rehab season, or is this going to be a free TV on DAZN? Because we know the Tank excuse me, we know that Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach is going to be on pay-per-view. And now you're going to be battling with Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach here in the United States versus Devin Haney versus Teo in Saudi Arabia. Now, this is a fight that a lot of people have been calling for. A lot of people wanted to see Devin Haney versus Teo all the way back when Teo beat Loma and became the unified champion at 135. And Teo had made statements that he was going to fight Devin Haney because Loma wasn't the real undisputed. I mean, he wasn't the real WBC champion because Devin had the belt, and then once he beat Loma, he felt like he didn't have to fight Devin Haney because he petitioned for the franchise belt, and he was going around claiming that he was undisputed, but Devin Haney had the WBC belt, so he had the franchise belt. Devin Haney had the actual WBC belt, and he was going around claiming that he was undisputed. But the whole thing was that he wasn't undisputed because the actual meaning of the word is that it's undisputed. Well, there was a dispute whether you was the actual champion for the WBC because Devin Haney had the actual belt. That belt was made up for Lomachenko and Canelo Alvarez. Nobody else ever had those belts. And we see now that the franchise belt is no longer available for anybody. And the thing was, when they came out with that belt, that it was a non-transferable belt. The only way you can get it, you would have to petition for it, and then they would have to come to have to do a vote about it in the WBC sanction about it. They would have to vote on it, and if they all agreed that you was worthy of having that award, then they would give it to you. And it was not supposed to be considered a actual belt. It was supposed to be an award where you can move up and down in weight classes and be able to fight for a championship and not have to be a mandatory or wait in line, I should say. But nevertheless, he never fought Devin Haney, and there was a whole lot of things going back and forth between him and Teo. And when Teo got to 140, Devin Haney moved up to 140, and they still never got a chance to fight at 140. And they both was champions, and it should have came to pass that they fought. So Devin Haney had sent Teo an offer. Teo declined the offer, and then turned around Bob Erm and Teo turned around and sent Devin Haney an offer, but Devin Haney said it was he claimed that the offer was less than what he was offering Teo, so he declined the offer, and it was just a whole bunch of back and forth. Well, now we finally getting the fight. I hear a lot of people bickering about the fight. They don't want to see it, this and that. I believe it's still a good fight. We know that neither one of them put on a great performance in their last fight on May 2nd because they was both on the same card. Teo was the opening fight on the May 2nd card, and Devin Haney was the co-main on the May 2nd card. And there was a whole lot of disappointed fans for all of those guys' performance on that card, from Teo to Devin to Ryan. A lot of people expected those three guys to actually shine. Teo won his fight, Devin Haney won his fight, Ryan lost. But neither one of them was a great performance from none of the guys. So a lot of people saying that they not interested in seeing the fight because of the last performance of those two fighters. I'm one of the ones that I want to see what happens because they've been talking, and one person said this person's scared, the other person said that person is scared. So now we're going to find out who's the better fighter. We still have the talk of Ryan versus Devin Haney rematch. Don't know if that's ever going to happen, but in the meantime, why not have a Teo versus Devin Haney? That's a good fight between those guys because, like I said, they are both each other's contemporary. So that was a talk of having these guys fight. It was the talk since they was at 135. The only bad thing about it is this is going to be at a catch weight of 145. We know that Devin Haney just fought at a catch weight of 144. Teo fought at 140 his last fight, but Teo was willing to go up and fight Jerron Boots Ennis at 147. Devin Haney was supposed to be moving up to 147 after the Jose Ramirez fight. That was the reason why they had the catch weight to see how he would look at 147. He had the Jose Ramirez fight, and his next step was supposed to be a full 147. But for whatever reason, they having this at a catch weight, which I don't agree with. If this guy was supposed to be moving up to 147 and Teo was supposed to be fighting Jerron Boots Ennis at 147, what's the purpose of having a catch weight? But we're going to see how these guys pan out in this fight. We're going to see what's the lead up to this fight, see if this fight actually go through. There's rumors that Teo hasn't signed his portion of the contract yet. So we're going to find out what becomes of this fight as the days goes on, and we move closer to August 16th. And I really don't have a dog in this race. I don't know who's going to win this fight based off of what I saw in both of those guys' last performance. This is a 50-50 fight. At one time, I did thought that Devin Haney was the better fighter, but I don't know if Devin Haney is truly over what happened with Ryan. That still might be playing in his head. So we're going to see how this fight pans out. Let me know what y'all think about this fight. Do y'all like it? Do y'all not like it? Should it happen in Saudi Arabia or should it not? Me personally, of course, I want it in America. You want to be able to see the guys that you root for fight, especially being though both of these guys are from America. What is the purpose of fighting in Saudi Arabia? They're not from Saudi Arabia. It will make sense if one of the guys was from Saudi Arabia or at least from that side of the country. That side of the world. It will make sense for the fight to be over there. But for being though that both these guys is from America and they fighting in Saudi Arabia, it makes no sense to me. But let me know what y'all think, and I'll be back with another video. And like I said, I will be back tomorrow. Me and Dub Rightside will be doing our NFL picks for the NFC East division, the wins and losses for each team for their schedules. And we will be back tomorrow. It's your boy, D Free Sports Talk Network. And I'm out. Peace.